Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Well, today I got for you a treat because you're going to learn so much about solar. So I really look forward. If you have any questions, feel free to go into the chat and comment, make as many comments as you want. If not, all the information is going to be in the system. Also, if you would like to support these videos and this educational information, and there's a way for you to do so just by adding your own Streamyard account. So, Elizabeth, thank you for being with us. So, let's go ahead and play some music. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, so for the ones who don't know Elizabeth is an entrepreneur, just like most of us watching. She has a passion for solar. So, Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about how you started with solar.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. I'm glad to be here. I started looking into an industry that was going to be strong over the next 10 years, looking for growth in the industry. Um, Number four was renewable energy. The first three required 4 more years of college. So I started looking into the renewable energy space and realized that solar was the least expensive option for residential use. So for people who were wanting to be able to get lower energy rates and that sort of thing, solar was going to be the most viable option for them. So I started diving in and just went in both feet and just took off running. I absolutely love what it can do for people. And that's how I got into it last year.
Fantastic. And now a little bit about where you at, because last time we spoke you mentioned you were in one state and another. Well, tell me a little bit
Well, the
about that.
beautiful thing, absolutely. So, the beautiful thing about the company I went with and partnered with, we are virtual. We don't have to go knocking on doors. We don't have to go and sit in your living room anymore. Um, the pandemic gave a new breath of fresh air to the way we work. And so
Mhm.
everything we do is virtual, and I represent homeowners in 30 states. So I'm able to
Wow.
help in California, in Colorado, all the way to the East Coast with Connecticut, Virginia, down to Florida, Texas. So I'm all across the United States, and just being able to help homeowners, absolutely wonderful.
Okay. So the floor is all yours, and
Okay,
let me know when we can get started.
absolutely. Well, what I want to talk about today, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs who are maybe going through a lull financially. The industries may be slowing down. I talk with a lot of real estate agents, a lot of mortgage industry people for sure. And they're seeing a little bit of slowdown with inflation and the interest rates going up. What I'm trying to bring to this market is to introduce it to more women and more minorities overall, because the representation in the renewable energy space is a little bit lacking. So, um, only 27% of the renewable energy space is minorities. And I did a little presentation for us today so I can go through some of the numbers and let the audience know where we are and where we could go. Can we show
Sounds
them
perfect.
the slides?
Absolutely, but before we go into it, why should people invest? What are the perks of having the solar energy installed in their homes?
The perks of having solar energy, one, is to put the power back into your hands. Right now, across the United States, we have the utility companies increasing the cost of getting energy into your home at exponential rates. For example, Connecticut, they went from 12.1 cents per kilowatt to 24.2 cents per kilowatt, in essence, raising the price of electricity by 100% with a 30-day notice. So the residents really didn't have time to wrap their head around a $300 energy bill going to $600 in 30 days. So by going solar, you're actually putting your own power plant on your own home to be able to generate the energy your home needs and doing it at a fraction of the cost of what you're renting energy.
Okay, perfect. Thank
So
you. So,
that's why it's really a big deal. And the government is understanding that there's a need because the grid is stressed. So the government is offering tax incentives across the board to be able to help homeowners to invest wisely and to get a 30% tax break right now federally.
that is one of the beauties that people have to take advantage, because right now the government is giving that incentive, just like they were doing with the EV cars when they just came out. Then later they changed it, and now it's barely any incentive, but there's some still. So let's take
There's still
advantage of
some
those.
incentives on the EVs, and that
Hmm.
absolutely. So that's going to be the future. And if you do get an EV car, which a lot of people are doing right now, you're going to use more electricity at your home to charge that car. So having solar is a wise choice, especially if you're getting an EV car. And if it's a two-car family, you're adding almost 700 kilowatts a month to charge your car.
Hmm. Okay, so let's jump into your presentation and we'll
Absolutely.
go from there.
Absolutely.
Okay, and sorry for
All
that, we were already ahead, but let's get started.
absolutely. We could go to the next screen. So, renewable energy and the minority representation. One of the things I want to talk about is what is renewable energy for those who may not know. And the simple explanation is it comes from a source that's not depleted when used, such as wind or solar. And what I'm passionate about mostly is the solar power because it is the cheapest for residents to be able to afford. And just so everyone can know, there are five major renewable energy sources that are available: solar that comes from the sun, geothermal that comes from inside the earth, wind energy, biomass from the plants, and hydropower from water. And all of the other ones are terribly expensive and not refined enough for home use. And solar is the most affordable and the most accessible for homeowners. Um, Within the renewable energy space, when I talked about the representation of all the numbers of people in renewable energy, only 27% is minority represented. And so in the Hispanic and Latino market, 17% of the community is in renewable energy, but that's in different parts. That could be the labor part, that can be some in the sales part, but mostly in the manufacturing area. And by gender, women hold about 27% of that 27% in clean energy jobs all across all ethnicities, but women are needed more so in the renewable energy space. They're counted as minorities across the board, but we're still needing more women to join the renewable energy market. And indigenous workers account for approximately 10%. So we're looking to have more minority representation because it matters when you're talking to people in your community that they see someone like themselves to be able to talk to and share their concerns with their energy bills and that sort of thing.
That is
And
right.
we could go to the next screen. Women and African Americans in renewable energy, as we talked about with the 27% women and minorities. Women and African Americans are both well underrepresented in the solar workforce. So I'm on a mission to try to get more people in. Only 19% of African Americans and Latinos, as I said, are in renewable energy. And as of 2022, 11% were Asian in the renewable energy space. And as of 2022, 16% were non-white represented in renewable energy. And when you talk to people, a lot of time they want someone who can understand their situation in their communities, or they feel like they may not be able to afford getting solar. And that absolutely isn't the case. But if they're sitting across the table from someone who looks like them, representative of them, if it's another woman talking to another woman, another Hispanic talking to another Hispanic, and they can speak the language, if there's a Filipino talking to another Filipino to speak the language, they know inherently that you have their best interests in mind. And so they will feel more comfortable and open up to talk to you more, to share what's going on in their home or what's going on with their concerns. We could go to the next screen. That's what's important, so that you can build trust, so that you can educate a homeowner, so that they know that you're understanding what they're saying. The other important thing is you would have more access if you decided to go face to face in the community. They're going to give you access to come in. Um, just like in when you go to New York, for example, and you go, they have Little Italy, they have Chinatown. It's all areas where you have a dense population of like cultures that are there, that if someone else who was an outsider came in, they wouldn't have the same access. You know what I'm saying, John?
Yes, that is correct.
So that's why it's so important to have more representation in the communities that actually needs to have cheaper energy, cheaper electricity, and solar is the way. And we could go to the next screen. So we talked a little bit earlier about Connecticut going up 100%. And what I put on the screen are just some of the energy rate increases that we've seen from the public utility companies from 2021 to current. In California, the energy rates have increased 16%, New Mexico 20%, and Texas is up 70%. You can see the other numbers in the other states. The rate is not going down. Over the past 50 years, we've had an average increase of only 4%, but since 2021, we've seen just tremendous rises in the cost of electricity or energy across the country. And we could go to the next screen.
Okay.
Mhm. Did you have any questions on that so far?
No, so far so good. And the viewers, they will go ahead and post some questions. I don't see any questions coming in yet, but
Okay,
nothing so far.
awesome. Well, when we talked about renewable energy and leadership and outlook, um, the great majority of the industry the leadership has been held by Caucasian males. 88% of senior executives are white, and 80% of them are men. And so, what I would hope to see is as we progress in the number four industry over the next 10 years, are more people who want to get in and make a difference. The renewable energy industry is over $800 billion. $800 billion as of 2020. And so entering into an industry where it's absolutely needed, you now have the opportunity of getting in and getting a part of those billions. By 2030, which is only 7 years away, it's going to be a $1.9 billion. or I'm sorry, $19 billion industry that you may want to look into to see how you can help your community. And right now, banks have been financing fossil fuels. They're phasing out that more so that they can direct their dollars into the renewable energy space. There are banks that are starting to have specific solar loans so that you can take advantage of buying your solar panels at a cash price by having them financed directly to your bank.
That is
So,
so true.
mhm. So absolutely, one of the things I would love for people to do is let's just talk about it and see where your concerns lie.
Yeah, I mean, people, if you have any questions, if you don't know and just want education about it, Elizabeth is here to help. I have met with her a few times, and every time I meet with her, she's a wealth of information regarding solar energy. And that is coming from a guy that is usually on top of the news. so so I really, really recommend, if you can get in touch with her, please, in the scroller you will see her information. Feel free to connect. She's on TikTok at get solar underscore girl, and she has a website. So please go ahead and check her out. Again, that is the best way to contact her. And Elizabeth, any last words so we can then thank you for your time?
I want you to be able to take your power back, help your family and friends do the same by harnessing the power of the sun.
Alrighty. So, everyone, thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.